Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it would be fun to film a favorites video. I kind of used to do this for you guys, not consistently, but I did. But I thought it would be really fun to get back into it and just talk about some of the makeup that I've been loving for the month of February. Some of this makeup is new, some of it is very old. It's just sort of what I've felt myself gravitating towards every single time I do my makeup. So I've got a small pile of it over here, so I'll just start grabbing things and let's talk about them. So when you start off doing your makeup, you start off with primers. So let's start this video with primers. I have been loving and reaching for constantly 3 different primers this month. So the first one is this e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer. It comes in the purple bottle. It is not this light of a purple. It is actually like a very, very bright, vibrant kind of a purple. It just, I don't know how to explain what it does. It just like evens out your skin tone. It makes it feel silky smooth. Oh, it just feels so, so nice. And somehow, and I don't know how, it like almost has like a greasy feeling without being greasy, which makes it kind of hydrating, even though I don't think it's necessarily hydrating. I don't know. I was so shocked by how much I love this primer, especially because I did buy 2 other e.l.f. primers and I wasn't really a big fan of them, but this one is amazing. I wanted it to be a dupe for the Becca First Light priming filter, I think. Is that the purple one? I kind of initially thought maybe it would be that, but it is completely different. It is radiance boosting a little bit. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I didn't read that it was tone adjusting when I got it. I just saw, ooh, purple primer, it must be the same. This reminds me a lot of like the Urban Decay Optical Illusion and things like that. But the problem with the Optical Illusion is I found that it was quite drying. And this one, like I said, my hand where I put this just feels like silk. It is so, so good. And for the price, you can't really beat it. Next primer is one that everyone was loving on last year. It is the Cover FX Gripping and Firming Primer. This stuff is incredible. It's so, like, when you put it on, I'm just going to kind of show you guys. It's got this, like, almost like glue-like texture. It feels, it's okay, just drop the lid. It feels very much the same kind of a texture that a peel-off mask would have. Like, it's kind of like gluey and very thick, and it takes a little while to work in. And it does feel like, can you hear that? Hopefully you guys can hear it. Hopefully this microphone is picking that up. It is tacky. It's a tacky primer, but that's where the gripping comes in. It just grabs your makeup and holds onto it all day long. It is so amazing. You would think it would feel really heavy, really thick. It doesn't at all. And it also, like, it does say it makes your face kind of smooth like glass. It absolutely does that. It's got a little bit of pore filling ability just because it is a thicker kind of jelly-like texture. And you just like put it on and smooth it out and you're like, oh, that's different. And a lot of like, I would think gripping would mean like clumping and caking. Not at all. This stuff is so freaking awesome. The last one is another one that's not new. This is the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer. I took a really long time to jump on this bandwagon just because the products are so expensive, but I was leaving Sephora and they had this one. It's sort of like a miniature version of the regular size, and I was like, you know what, if you're gonna try it in a small size, see how you feel about it. I love this stuff. Like, it is, you know, so amazing feeling. I've got a little dent going in the middle. It just, I can't even describe to you guys how amazing this feels. If you have not tried this, it's so nice. It has a little, again, a little bit of blurring, a little bit of pore filling, a little bit of a brightening kind of thing. Just really evens out, not so much skin tone, but skin texture. It makes it so that if you have a drier patch, like I get really dry in here, in my T-zone, that sort of area. I have a lot of pores in my T-zone, across my nose. If you sort of put this on, it just sort of like masks it. And it's called Canvas because it's basically giving you a blank canvas to work with. It is so great. It makes sure that your makeup sits evenly everywhere. So like I said, if you have some of those drier patches, I found that putting this kind of over, I spoke about this in my last video. I had a cold sore last week. I didn't wear a lot of makeup, but we had to go to an engagement party. So it was like a process to get that thing covered. You can probably still see like the tail end of it right now, but it had like, the cream I used had like dried up around it and given me a lot of really dry skin. And I found that like putting this over just smoothed it out completely and let me put makeup on it. It did eventually crack, but like it lasted longer than it would have had I not used this. Next thing I'm going to talk about are kind of foundation-y. So this first one, this is the NARS Tinted Glow Booster. I have the shade Light Kalvoya. It comes in 4 shades. Comes in light, medium, medium, deep, and deep, I believe. In my foundation video, I think I told you guys there was a light medium shade. There isn't. It basically jumps straight from here to medium. This stuff is awesome. I've got it under my foundation today. It's like, oh, I can't even describe it to you guys. It's kind of like, I'm going to put again a little bit here so you guys can see like the texture of it and kind of the effect that it has. It's got these like little micro pearls of reflect in it, and it's got a little bit of coverage, nothing crazy for sure, but it just, you guys see like the reflect that's sitting right here? That's what it does. It just sort of, again, it's a tinted glow booster. So something like this, like you could definitely have this in like a clear formula and it would just like put little micro pearls of like light. My words aren't coming to me today very well. It's very, makes you feel more alive. It ups your glow, amps up your glow, boosts up your glow. I guess that's why it's called a glow booster. And honestly, I kind of like having the tint to it because it's almost like how I imagine like an illuminating BB cream would be, or a CC cream, like just a very light, kind of even out a little bit of your natural complexion. I think that this would be really, really nice to wear on its own. I haven't done it yet. Because I've needed coverage when I've gone out with makeup. But if you didn't, if you were just like, oh, you know, I just got to go run an errand and your skin was looking flawless and you just needed like a little something something, I think that this would be really, really nice. And the other one is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I have mine in shade 550 light medium. This is pretty new, I think. I think it only came out within the last couple months or so. Correct me if I'm wrong. It has coconut milk and aloe extract. It feels incredible. It is so weightless, so hydrating, so just like next to nothing. It's not very high coverage. It is probably pretty buildable. It says dewy finish. It does have a little bit of a reflect in it, nothing crazy. I really like this. I'm a big fan of lightweight, light to medium coverage foundation. So this, when it came out, I was like, that is meant for me. So excited for it. And because it's got all of those nourishing things, you actually feel like you're doing something good when you're covering your face up, right? A lot of times, like, I love wearing makeup. I know it's not particularly great for my skin. I know that it's like, if I empty out my pores, I'm just filling them back up with makeup. This one, I almost feel like I can get away with like feeling better, like it could be like part of a skin, I'm just making it up, I don't know. I do feel a little bit better about this. It is vegan, it is cruelty free for anybody that goes that way. Really, really nice foundation. Next thing I'm going to talk about, again, this is not so much new, but kind of new to me, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powders. I love these. I've had this one. This is Poundcake. I've had this one for quite a while, and I actually, okay, here's the funny thing. I love the product. It's fantastic, but I actually thought I would like get rid of this eventually because I hated like the actual, like, this sounds stupid, the mechanism by which you get it out. It's got like this mesh kind of thing going over it. And I have another setting powder that has that, and it acts like a trampoline. Like you take your sponge or your brush and you kind of bop it in there and it bounces a little bit. It picks up the powder and then lifts out so you're not, you know, dumping it out into a dish or like the lid or anything. You don't feel like you're wasting product. And it works in that one because I think it's a finer powder. This one, because it is a little, like, it's a fine powder, but it kind of has like a texture like flour to it. And I think that that's the reason that this one just clogs up the holes, particularly if you're like me and you do your setting powder with a beauty blender, like a damp beauty blender. I think between the dampness and the powder, it kind of congeals and blocks out the little spring mechanism. That was the one thing I have to say I don't love about this, but everything else is fantastic. I have Poundcake on today. I've recently become completely obsessed with Cupcake. One is a little bit more yellow, one is a little bit more pink tone. I think that Cupcake is actually the better one for me. I have a fairly neutral undertone, but if anything, I'm a little peachy pinky, not so much yellow. So I think that this one is the right one for me. This one is nice for like brightening, I suppose, but I do find that I prefer this one, but I like this one too. Really, really good alternative. I keep saying alternate, but I think it's alternative is the word I'm looking for, to the Laura Mercier powders if you're looking for something that's got a little bit of color in it, because I know that there is a like bronze version of like the loose setting powder and the loose glow powder. I haven't gotten to it. I only use the translucent one, but if you're looking for something with a little bit more of a range, these are a really good way to go. I've got one eyebrow pencil. Again, this is not new to me. It's not new to makeup. It's been around a long time, but I feel like nobody talks about it, and I have recently fallen back in love with it. I was getting away from it and kind of using more like the Benefit Precisely My Brow and the NYX brow, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, and the NYX whatever version of that, I can't remember, Micro Brow or something like that. I've just recently been getting back into my MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint. So on one end you get like a felt liner kind of thing. Now I can see why this is kind of like a little intimidating. You just need to like flick with brush strokes. It is so easy. And the other side has like a dip powder in it and a sponge, so you can just like fill in any other areas. So I normally take the felt end and just kind of like add a little more, particularly in the middle where I'm a little sparse. You can see I kind of went a little shy today. I just like to fill that in with a couple hairs, and then I take the powder and just sort of pat it over top, take a spoolie, brush it through, even it out, and it just works like a dream every single time. And it's funny because I had my makeup done at MAC one time after I started using this, and they said like, oh, what brow product you use? And I said this one, and they said, really? Like, I guess it's not the most popular thing, and I know that a lot of people don't like felt brow pens because they find them too harsh, too difficult to work with, but it's just a thing. It just takes like practice. If you just are very like, practice on the back of your hand before you put it on your face if you're worried about it, or practice on a day off when you don't need to go out. It just takes the lightest little hand and just flicks, and it just makes it look like real hairs, which is what I really like. It doesn't look like your eyebrows are crazy filled in, or, you know, so it kind of just blends into your natural brow, and I really like that. Something else that will be no surprise to you guys that I've been loving are my MAC Glow Play brushes. I keep saying brushes, blushes. I've only pulled out 4 of them right now just to kind of give you a little shade range, show you kind of like some of the crazier, brighter, fun colors, and a little bit of like how natural they can be. These are so amazing, so incredible. I can't talk about them enough. And oh my gosh, I just love it. And it's one of those things where like MAC always puts out these amazing collections, but I feel like nobody talks about MAC all the time. I'm probably crazy. Like, I feel like the MAC craze and the MAC phase of makeup has almost like gone away. Like, they've always been a background player, but you've got brands like Anastasia Beverly Hills that are always putting out these Norvina palettes every like 2 days. You've got like, I don't know. That's the only one that's really coming to mind right now that I feel like is constantly just releasing palettes. You've got, you know, Kylie Cosmetics that's like, oh, new collection here, new this here, new this here. And you keep hearing about them. But MAC has just like fallen back to the wayside. I think they're just like going back to like their roots almost. Every time I do follow MAC on like Instagram, and every time I see stuff, it's just them at like fashion shows doing makeup backstage. And I really like that. It's not these big launch parties and these huge PR packagings and stuff like that. I feel like they just kind of like stay in their own lane, do what they do, and they're so amazing at it. And this is just amazing. Like, every time I show you guys these, I really want to like push my finger into one of them because I want you to see how like bouncy and just like cool the texture is, because that is really what makes these so freaking incredible. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to do it in this one just so you guys can see. Like, do you guys see that? Like, I just, oh my God, they're so bouncy. Such like a really cool formula, like almost like a cream, but not a cream. Like I don't want to say it's like a cream to powder kind of thing. I don't even know how to describe it. It's amazing. I've told you guys, this will be like the 3rd time or 4th time I've told you guys. Go and check these out. They're so amazing. They sheer out beautifully. You can get amazingly bright, bold blush looks. You can get really sheared out natural blush looks. It comes in a lot of really fun colors. So if you're like, I have a lot of blush, I don't need one, go for one of like the lilac color, go for the super dark purple, go for this bright, bright pink. Go for something different, because even though you might be like me and be like, oh, I can never do that. Segue. For a really long time, I thought red lips and me did not go together. We just didn't work together. Every time somebody ever was like, oh, you know, wear this red. No, I can't wear red. It's too bold. It's too much. And I actually know a lot of people that are like that. Another friend who I'm actually going out for dinner with tonight, the night I'm filming, her and I were talking about this, and she was saying she just can't, she just doesn't feel like she can pull off a red lip, and it's just not true. You need to, like, something I found out, I need to get out of my own head with makeup and stop limiting myself. Stop saying, no, you can only pull off like a nice nude or a nice like light pink. No, that's not true. I love reds. It is like my go-to color. If I am wearing like black or white or don't know what else to do, I will always opt for a really bright red lip and like a neutral eye or something like that. It is so glamorous, so classic, and it looks amazing. I would say on everybody. I would say everybody can pull off a red lip. It's just about finding your shade of red. Are you a cool tone red person, a warm tone, a blue undertone, an orange undertone, a yellow undertone, a pink undertone, dark, light? There's all kinds of reds, right? So everybody has their shade. Everybody has their thing for blush. Get out of your own, and I'm the worst culprit for this. I do the same eyeshadow look every freaking time with you guys, just using a different palette. I know I need to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. These blushes are awesome. Check them out. Back to the favorites. I've got a bunch of lip products that I have just been living for this past month. And this first one, if you have been with me for any amount of time, hello, I appreciate it. If you're new, welcome. I appreciate you too. You guys know I'm not a lip gloss person. I don't like it. I don't like that it feels sticky on my lips. I would rather just go for a full-blown lipstick that has tons of pigmentation. I don't like when my hair gets stuck in my lip gloss, and I know a lot of people complain about this. You guys will be shocked to know the first product is a lip gloss. These have been out for forever, so you know, whatever. But these are the Buxom Plumping, full-on plumping lip creams. I have them in Blushing Margarita and White Russian, which I think is like their most like cult famous shade. These are so awesome. They are glossy without key to gummy. I'm actually really shocked by how much like pigmentation they really have. Like I looked at this White Russian shade and I was like, it's probably not going to be that great. It is so, so nice. They've got the most amazing like cross between like a mint and a like frosting kind of smell. And because they're plumping, when you put them on, they kind of make your lips tingle. I have worn these as standalone. I have worn these on top of like matte lipsticks that I think need a little bit of shine to them. I am obsessed with these. I bought them right before I went on my no buy, and like I want more of these. I want every color that they have available. I will get rid of every other lip gloss I own if I can own all of these, because these are by far the best lip gloss that I have ever tried. And it's actually really annoying because something popped up today about MAC is putting out this like small springy collection separate from their other spring collection, and in it they have plumping lip glosses, and I'm like, whoa, that's new. That's a different thing. I don't think MAC has plumping lip gloss. I mean, I wouldn't know. This would be like the one area of MAC that I wouldn't know about, is something about lip glosses. But I was like, I wonder if they're gonna be like the Buxom ones. So like I'm so tempted to break my no buy just to get them. But I feel like I've been going really, really strong. I've been avoiding like Sephora's and MAC's, and I've even been avoiding the drugstore because I always end up just wandering towards the makeup section. So I've been really, really good, but these are freaking amazing. I've got 3 bullet lipsticks as well. So this first one I have is this Clinique one. This is a Clinique Pop Matte Lip Color Primer, Lip Color Plus Primer in Blushing Pop. So this is shade 01. This is like the most moisture, like you can see it in it. Super, super moisturizing, very hydrating on the lips, but also full color pigmentation, which can be really difficult to find in like a hydrating one because they almost turn more balmy when you put a lot of hydration in them. But this is just so amazing. I love the color. It lasts for a really long time. It doesn't fully dry down. Like it's not sticky like a lip gloss is, but if I were to like rub my lips together, they would still slide and glide against each other. This is so hydrating. I love this. And I really ended up buying it because I thought it would be super hydrating. And I'm not one to, I don't know, like I put a lot of chapstick on, but my lips are super, super dry and cracking. And I was like, I'm not one to shy away from a matte lipstick when my lips are cracked and they end up looking horrible. So I thought this would be a really nice alternative. Why do I always say alternate? I don't think I'm wrong. I don't know. It just sounds funny. This would be a really nice alternative because it is matte, but it still has that like moisturizing property. I'm loving this. I want to get more shades. Next one I have is the Bare Minerals Hydra-Smoothing lipstick. This is in the shade Grace. I think that these are actually pretty new. I kind of just happened to walk by it one day. They smell really nice too. They have kind of like a fruity smell. It reminds me of some kind of a lipstick that I used as a kid that was like a drugstore one, but I can't remember what it was, but it's got that same kind of like fruity, I don't know. It's got a mixture between a lipstick and a fruit smell, and I kind of am digging it. So it is just super, can you guys see like how it looks like it's like beading? Oh, it's so hydrating. Pigmentation, again, phenomenal. And yeah, it lasts really well as well. And that is one of the things I'm always the most concerned about is how often am I going to be layering lipstick on top of lipstick on top of lipstick? And I mean, shy of like eating or drinking or wearing this for like 4 or 5 hours, you don't need to reapply this. It's fantastic. I really like that. Again, wanting to get more shades. This one, oh my goodness. So this is a Bobbi Brown Luxe Matte Lip Color. I got the shade Semi Naked. This is like my new favorite nude lipstick. Look at this color. Like how perfect of a nude is that? Now everybody has their own perfect nude. Some people's perfect nude is a more pinky nude. Some people prefer a more brown nude, a more peachy nude. This for me is just the perfect nude. It is a, you know, I don't even know what the undertone of this is. I guess it's kind of peachy, a little pinky, a little, I don't know, it kind of almost pulls everything just depending on how you look at it. But the coverage of this is so fantastic. It is a little drying. It is matte. It does not have that same like hydra boosting effect that the other ones I have mentioned to you guys today have. But the color is just so, so amazing. They actually have these Luxe lip colors that aren't matte, and I would really like to try them as well because I love this formula. I only have one because these are really expensive, but the packaging is like super heavy duty, so I kind of get it, I suppose, but like they're really expensive. So I do want to try some of the regular ones that aren't matte and see how I like those because I've been in this phase where, like I said, my lips have been super dry lately. I've wanted more moisturizing lipsticks. I do love a good matte lipstick. I love a good liquid lipstick, and those tend to be matte. But right now I'm just in this phase of wanting hydration for my poor lips. So this one not great for that, but the color and the formula are fantastic. The last thing I'm going to show you guys is kind of a makeup thing. It's just something that is really exciting for me, and that is the new Essie Expressie Quick Drying Nail Polish. So I've got a base coat, or I guess a top coat. This is called Always Transparent. And then I have this color. This is in Crop Top and Roll. This is the color I have been wearing on my nails. My nails suck. That is no secret to anybody. Anytime I do anything close up with my hands, I kind of look at it after and I'm like, ugh, like my hands are disgusting. Whereas like a lot of like really good YouTubers and like stuff, they like have these beautiful manicured fingers. Like, and I'm not talking like huge fake nails, but like everybody's got like nice painted shaped nails, and mine are kind of like, yeah, I bite them and whatever. They break at work all the time. No big deal. So I can't have fake nails. And I used to have like UV gel nails all the time. Like I would change them out every month, but like for like 2 years I constantly had these fake nails on, and it ruined, like it destroyed my nail bed. So I'm really hesitant to like get any kind of like fake nail or shellac nail polish or anything like that. And I don't paint my nails very often because at work it just chips away and then I get upset and then I chip all the rest of it off and then bite them anyway. I tried to paint my nails like a couple weeks ago and I do not have patience to let the nail polish dry. So I thought it was dry enough. I put another coat on, and if you have done this, you'll know that like if you paint a wet coat on top of a coat that's not completely dry, it kind of gets like gummy and gunked up. And then when you try and put a top coat on, you do it and it just never dries properly. So even if the top coat feels dry, if you grab it, you can like almost like pull it off and it's like gummy and stringy. So I was just fed up. I was at the point where like I didn't want to paint my nails anymore. And then Essie introduced this and this was my lifesaver. It is really quick drying. It takes about a minute a coat to dry or thereabouts. And the other thing that like it's not super opaque. I did have to put 2 layers on, I think 2 coats, maybe 3 coats. I can't totally remember. It needs more than 1 coat as most nail polish do, not a big deal. But what I really like about it is like you'll see right now, like I've got little, oopsies, like I'm trying to show you, chips in the polish where my natural nail is showing through. I've been doing that like since I painted them, like literally the day I painted them, they were completely dry. I went and I washed the dishes and I chipped like all of the end off. And some nail polish you can't do this with, but this you can just put it right over where you did it. Some nail polish you would need to like take that whole nail off and start again. This one builds up so well. I'm holding up the dry coat, but like this builds up so freaking well. Like it's great. I'm gonna take a bottle with me on vacation. I'm looking into getting more colors. I love this stuff. It is, I've already gotten rid of all my other nail polish, but like I will never buy another nail polish as long as these exist because they are so good. And I've tried other quick dry formulas and they're just not like this. They are amazing. So that is everything that is going to be in my favorites for February. This was a longer video than I intended. I actually thought I didn't have a lot to show you guys, but then I got to chatting and I got to rambling. Sorry. I will link all of the products down below, where you can get them, how much they are, if you guys are interested in any of them. If you like these kind of favorite videos and you want to see me do them every month, let me know. I'd be happy to. I just have to like make a mental note to remember to film it. And now that I have actually been putting out videos on a schedule every Tuesday and Friday, I'm very cognizant of it, whereas before I would just film a whole bunch and be like, eh, it'll go up when it goes up, or I'd like bang out like 4 videos 4 days in a row, and then for like 2 weeks you would get nothing. So I'm being very aware and very like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like I'm gonna hope that this February favorites gets up either in February or right at the beginning of March so that you guys can see within a decent time frame what I've been loving. So if you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, comment down below, let me know what makeup you've been loving for this month, and I will catch you guys next time.